All right, people. Hi, welcome. This is going to be a long series, and I might just have to break it down in the latter part of it. But this is not going to be a perfect video, right? This is not something where I say something and I sound very preachy about it, and for some reason I'm absolutely perfect and sounding perfectly fine. This is a very, very blunt, a very, very honest, and a very minimalist editing video, where the editing is going to be very, very minimal, only to make sure that there's nothing flying around, there's nothing buzzing around too much. But the series that I'm now starting, which is the first part of the series, is called The World is Broken. Right? I will also come down to a series where I'll talk about how to fix it. But this series that I'm going to begin now, which is, like I said, titled The World is Broken, is more real. It is more me. It is less editing, less post-production, less cleaning up, and more of raw, honest things that I'm saying in the video. Right? I will fumble, I will falter, and it'll just be like that. I'm not going to make it sound like, oh, I'm so perfect that I'm perfectly, see, like I just said perfect twice. I'm going to welcome errors, because we have this habit of complaining about how things are in a certain way. There's an error somewhere or the other, and that's the first thing I want to talk about, right? So let's say, for example, if I was to, or not just me, but anybody for that matter, if they were to have, or they were to say a celebrity, let's have somebody as a celebrity, as a picture, as a person, and if they have too much makeup on, if they have dressed up in a very, very fancy way, and if they're carrying a certain poise, and they're very sharp and they're very royal right now, there will always be a lot of people who will say, "Huh, so fake," right? And it's so easy to pretend when you have the money. But ironically, when the same person is going out roaming about without any makeup, without any fancy clothes, looking like a simpleton, people will still have a problem. Look how simple, how like bland. Don't they know they're a celebrity? Everybody's watching them, everybody's looking at them. So that's one, right? And fancy stuff is when people show off that we have money. There are a lot of people in the public will say, "Huh, what a show off." And when they don't show off that they have money, and they're like, "Huh, the person has so much money but he's not even willing to spend, so stingy." So one way or the other, what is happening is that the world is constantly complaining, and the other part of the world, who's actually a slave. So celebrities, basically, they're a slave to acceptance, validation, and appreciation from the public, right? So one way or the other, they just have to be in the limelight, right? Whether do something good or bad, as long as they're at the talk, they're a talk of the town, they're somehow being celebrated. That's the reason why the word celebrity comes from there, right? You'll be being celebrated in some way or the other. When it comes down to how this hypocrisy is very easy when it's done outward, but it's very difficult when it's done inward. For example, if you were being questioned about what you've done, you will tell the world, "Oh, but my intention was pure." Right? But when you're judging somebody on the outside, you're not looking at their intention, you're looking at their action, you're looking at the result, you're looking at the consequential thing that has happened after they put the effort, right? So again, when it's somebody else, you're not questioning their intention, or you're not asking their intention. And when it's you, you're justifying your intention and telling the world to not look at the final product, right? In case they don't like it. It's a matter of convenience, and that's the reason why the world is broken. Right? We're always there to compete. We're not there to collaborate. Right? Both of them start with C. It depends on which one do we choose. Right? The choice is ours, but it's always easier to compete than collaborate, because we have this nature of comparative happiness. Right? Our happiness is not just pure and raw in its form. It's more to do with, oh, that person has that thing, I want it. That person has that thing, I want it. So when I get what they have, then I'm happy. But the moment they get another better thing, suddenly my happiness quotient goes down. Right? All these issues that happen in the world, they happen because, like I said in the very beginning, what I'm titling this series, The World is Broken. And this broken world is a wonderful playground for the top 1%ers, by the way. Right? You're giving them the feed. You're actually feeding them with what they need in order to keep you there. Because while you're too busy complaining, while you're too busy commenting and taunting and observing the outside world, these people are not just observing you, they're actually learning from you and then using you as their own, ways, or they know what bait to give you so that you stay busy. You'll end up spending your time, you'll end up spending your energy, you'll end up spending your intelligence for that matter. And it's always a comparative analysis for you all your life. And like I said, when you reach that level of a celebrity, and then when people will say the same things about you, then you will suddenly start justifying your intention. Right? How fair is it when it's easy to comment about somebody else, but when it's about you, you expect the world to be nice to you? Isn't that the case with all 8 billion people on the planet? If I'm a celebrity and if I'm expecting you to be sensitive or you to see my intention, then maybe in the future when you come and you become a celebrity, I will do the same for you. Right? But if you're already competing and taunting and commenting, then you can't expect me to be a pure soul to you as well. Right? Then it just comes back to you. Like we usually know, what goes around comes around, and that's how it comes around in multifolds. And we're always looking at a certain sense of perfection and a certain level of, being prim and proper. But to whose definition are we a slave to? Right? Are we a slave to how the public wants to look at us? Are we a slave to how our colleagues want to look at us? Are we a slave to how our competition wants to look at us? Are we a slave to how people who might give us work in the future, they will look at us? At the end of the day, we're all slaves to something or the other because we're dependent on others to accept us, approve us, and appreciate us. Right? But then the real question is, have we actually, appreciated ourselves? And which is where the question of self-love comes in, being mindful, being inclusive comes in. All these fancy terms come through. But then firstly, before including the whole world within your purview, try to first include yourself. Right? If each of us 8 billion people try to include ourselves within our eyes first, and then we become more sensitive to the world around us, we'll all become one force. Right? If there were, let's say, 1 million ants that came together, they could make any big shape if they want to. But if these 1 million ants keep going here and there and they're all scattered, nobody will be able to make a shape out of that. Right? And the person or the power that's scattering them is actually enjoying the fact that they're all scattered. That's where the world is broken. That's where we're all broken in multiple ways. Right? This is just one, and in a lot more videos, we'll talk about how giving this bait becomes a business, right? Or giving a bait of, we'll give you this. If you do this, you will get better this, and you'll get more. You'll get more acceptance. You get more appreciation, and the people are actually showing you these dreams, these fancy dreams, and they're actually giving you a bait. And the moment you get hook onto that bait, you get trapped. Right? And then you're just stuck in that trap, you're stuck in that cycle, and the one who actually created the cycle is making all the advantages out of it. Right? The bait, the fear versus faith, how your insecurity leads to somebody else's security, how you land up your comparison to somebody else gives you more sorrow than any happiness, because then maybe life was supposed to give you 100 and you were right now at a 20 and you're jealous of somebody who's at a 50, and then your target doesn't go 100, then your target becomes at 50. Right? So we're broken in a lot of ways, not just the world, but each of us. Right? There's a lot that's going on within our minds, within our hearts, within our souls, within our bodies, and we are also looking outwards. We're facing a lot of challenges from the outside world because we want the outside world to appreciate us, accept us, validate us, acknowledge us, and all of this is happening because we're not so aware. Right? So like I said, the world is truly broken, and there will be a series where I will also talk about how we could fix the world. We'll go to that later. This is just a beginning, but it's not a beginning without no end. Right? if I'm countering, if I'm counting the flaws, I'm also here to give you solutions that are ready to it. But the first step to any piece of knowledge will be, the first thing is that you will acknowledge that yes, or we will acknowledge that yes, the world is broken. Then we will accept that, okay, since it's broken, this could be a fixture, this could be something to fix it. That's the acceptance coming in. And then comes the application, where we accept the possible solution and then we apply it. This cycle, done about 1,000,000 times, has the potential to heal the world. At the end of the day, we're living in a world where people are almost flying with drones, we're going to space, we're doing everything else, we're going inwards, outwards, everywhere. We're talking about time travel, we're talking about dimensions, we're talking about telepathy, we're talking about healing, we're talking about so many things. But these are all things and milestones that we're covering on the outside world. On the inside world, we're becoming hollow, right? And a future part of these videos in my series will lead us to a level where we will come to a solution where we could possibly heal the whole world and maybe start a new phase altogether. Maybe, right? It's an attempt. I don't want to just make tall promises. It's an attempt. Let's try, because I think if all 8 billion of us keep trying it together rather than competing against each other, like I said, if we collaborate and not compete, I'm sure that we can create something new, right? So with that said, I'll see you in the next video of The World is Broken. All right. Till then, have fun, keep learning, keep enjoying, keep exploring, and like I said, or like I always say, think about it.